First with breaking news. First with new information. 19 News starts now with a first alert for severe weather.
Well, it is nice and warm out there right now, but today is a 19 First Alert weather day. There is a chance that there will be storms around this afternoon and into the evening.
Talking about damaging winds, hail, heavy downpours, that's the greatest risk. 19 First Alert. The weather team cannot rule out a tornado, however, that's not expected. Just getting you all prepared. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. So what exactly does the rest of the afternoon and evening look like?
Hot, that's for sure. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page is here to tell us. We actually tied a record today, you said, Erica.
Yeah, we did. Over at Cleveland Hopkins, 88 degrees. We have tied that record now. So it kind of just goes to prove the point that it has been hot, it has been humid, unseasonably so. And with that will come kind of that summertime-like opportunity for some showers and a few thunderstorms. And it does help that we have a cold front that's eventually on the way later tonight. So that will become our focus for shower and thunderstorm activity. Right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for areas basically Sandusky westward out towards the Toledo area until 7 p.m. But I would not be surprised if this is gradually expanded eastward, depending on how showers and storms continue to evolve here over the next couple of hours. We are just starting to see a few of these showers and storms get going across parts of not only Michigan and Indiana, but now into portions of western Ohio as well. So we'll continue to watch the latest radar trends there. Outside of it, we're not tracking an immediate rain opportunity for us. We need a little bit more time before that cold front gets closer. I'll walk you through where all the data stands coming up here in just a few minutes.
Well, an officer is being recognized after tracking down a guy who was trying to break into a local shop, and he did it alone and in the dark. New body camera footage shows the moment he made the arrest. First at 4, Brittany Weir live for us with more on this story. Brittany.
Yes, it all started right here at Full of Smoke Shop, but that suspect quickly smashed in this window, broke into the shop, and then ran to the wooded area here behind the plaza. But it wasn't long before police officers caught up with him, and the entire thing was caught on body camera.
Hey, come out with your hands up! You're gonna get bit! You're gonna get bit!
This video shows the dramatic moment that a Springfield Township police officer tracked down 42-year-old Leon Williams. They say he broke into Full of Smoke Shop just after 10 Monday night, smashing the front window to get inside. When Officer McLean arrived, he spotted Williams running and took off on foot into a heavily wooded ravine behind the shopping plaza.
Come south, I have him in the woods here.
Alone, no backup, and in the dark. McLean tracked Williams through the woods behind a church on Shady Brook Road.
Hey, you're gonna get bit! Don't freaking move! Turn away from me! Turn away from me! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Don't move!
Once he caught up with him behind a nearby home, he took him into custody.
Drop your phone! Keep your hands up!
Williams was charged with breaking and entering and obstructing official business.
I'm walking back to Shady Brook.
And Williams was arraigned this morning. A judge did set his bond at $2,500. We are told additional charges could be added. In Springfield Township, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Take a look at this. This is chaos at the BP right across the street from Progressive Field. This is East 9th and Carnegie around 1:30 this morning. You can see a lot of police officers and squad cars. They were called out for a large crowd of people just hanging around. We did reach out to police today. They tell us they were able to get everyone to move along, and there were no arrests. The deadly shooting at San Diego's largest mosque is being investigated as a hate crime. 3 people were killed, and the 2 suspected shooters, both teenagers, also died after apparently shooting themselves. Michael Yoshida has the latest on the investigation.
The search for answers continues following the deadly shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. 3 people were killed, including a security guard. The suspected shooters, both teenagers, were found nearby dead from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds. A law enforcement source confirming the identity of one as 17-year-old Kane Clark. The police say hours before the attack had been reported missing by his mother, along with her car and 3 weapons. Officials say hate speech was scrawled on one weapon, and a suicide note with writings about racial pride was also found.
It's why we are obviously treating this as a hate crime. While we had no specific information that would direct us to the Islamic Center of San Diego, obviously those writings are pretty damning.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says one of the teens lived in the community, not far from the mosque, which also houses a school for young children. Officials saying Monday's violence could have been far worse, if not for the actions of the Islamic Center security guard.
I think it's fair to say his actions were heroic, and undoubtedly he saved lives today.
Identified as Amin Abdullah, a father of 8 now being remembered for always being kind and for the love he had for his community.
Every single time you crossed him, he always put a smile on your face. Having that type of person that's willing to put their life and protect other people's kids so they can hug their kids, but he's got to go home to be buried by his kids, that hurts. That does hurt. That hurts a lot.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Stark County Sheriff's Office is warning people about an image believed to be AI generated that is circulating on social media. This is what it looks like. The image shows a phone with an app similar to the Citizens app that shares law enforcement dispatch information. This one says that deputies had been sent to Middle Branch Elementary to investigate some kind of a device. It never happened. Deputies were never sent out. There was never a so-called device.
Now, 19 News has your countdown to the Cavs, sponsored by Cleveland Furniture.
All right, so the countdown is on. Right there, blocking my forehead. Cavs and Knicks, game 1 in New York tonight. It's a big forehead. It takes a lot to
4 hours to go. You can see it written right across your face. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. Just scooch down a little. There we go. Eastern Conference Finals. Last time we were in the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron was still on the team.
That's right. So let's head out to New York City and bring in Ashley Holder. Hey, Ashley. Boy, got to be a lot of fun out there.
It sure is a lot of fun. Pretty hot, very, very windy, that's for sure. But listen, we already know about Donovan Mitchell's New York roots. It's a big homecoming for him, but he's not going to be the only Cav with a lot of friends and family in the stands tonight.
Hey, they're down in it with the ball handler. Get out a little wider to create that pocket. We're going right into big and there's not enough room. So come out a little. Maybe we'll get the pocket. That makes it.
That's Kenny Atkinson, who went to Northport High School on Long Island. He also coached the Brooklyn Nets for 4 years, but got fired. The Cavs couldn't get past round 2 with J.B. Bicker's staff. They brought Kenny here to take that next step.
I'm a New Yorker, me like going back to the Garden, worked for the Knicks. I mean, it's pretty, know everybody there. My whole, I got, ton of family. My whole family's there, really, basically. So that's special.
There's also an interesting name on the injury report for the New York Knicks. Leah Doherty will have that coming up for you at 5:30. For now, live in New York City, Ashley Holder, 19 News.
Bring in your cash if you're going to go. Dan DeRose has been watching ticket prices both in the Big Apple and in Cleveland for Game 3 on Saturday.
This is not going to be a surprise that a ticket in New York City is quite a bit more than a ticket in Cleveland for Game 3. But let's talk about Madison Square Garden right now. I'm actually surprised at just how many tickets are still available. We're talking hundreds of tickets still available. I'm going to scroll all the way back to the top to get you our cheapest tickets still available. You can get into Madison Square Garden for $497. Yes, that's going to be a nosebleed. I love coming down courtside. I don't know if I'm going to see Spike Lee in one of these, but let's take a look at some of the courtside prices. Want to sit in the third row just behind the Cavaliers, the visitors? That seat, that row of seats right there, $30,000 a ticket. $30,000 a ticket. Okay, maybe that's too expensive. Move back just 3 rows. Now you're 4 rows from the court. $21,000 a ticket there. That's much more manageable. Okay, so let's remember it was about $500 get-in price for tonight's game. Let's fast forward to game 3, when we're up 2-0 in the series. Get-in price for the Cavs right now, and this is going to change drastically based on what happens in the next couple of nights in New York City. Get-in price for Cleveland right now, $276. That's what you expect when you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. If we make it to the finals, go ahead and double that to get into a finals game. What about our courtside seats? Remember, they were $20,000, $30,000. We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, maybe not quite courtside, but the closest to the court, 5 rows off in Cleveland, a mere $5,786. That's a heck of a lot better than $20,000 and $30,000 in New York. We're going to keep our eyes on these prices as we get a little bit closer to the game Saturday here in Cleveland.
That's just for one ticket.
Yeah. And
You're not usually going with just yourself, right?
Yeah, and I'm afraid we're going to see a little of this, that there's going to be some of these actors and all these big shots from New York City who've got money to throw around. We're going to show up here in Cleveland and buy those tickets, and try and buy tickets on the. So we're going to see Spike Lee and some of these guys sitting courtside in Cleveland.
You're probably right.
Yeah,
You're probably right. Well, we'll just have to cheer even louder.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Here's the deal to watch the games, though, while they're out of town. The Cavs are hosting watch parties for games 1 and 2. Tickets are $5. Doors open at 7, an hour before tip-off. You'll be able to watch the game on the Jumbotron. The Cavs dance team, the mascots, they'll all be there. There's also going to be some giveaways and some fun on court.
Heat in mid-May means we're going to have a lot of folks outside taking advantage of some of this summer-like heat. You can certainly see it feels and looks very summer-like here from our live look at Edgewater Beach, but you're also starting to see those clouds gain a little bit more height here in our atmosphere, and that's important because it's a sign that our atmosphere is starting to do what we call destabilize, meaning it's becoming a bit more favorable for some of that shower and thunderstorm development. If we see severe storms later tonight, especially as we get closer to the evening hours, damaging wind gusts is going to be my primary concern. So we're talking winds gusting upwards of 60, even 70 miles per hour, hail up to quarter size, which is about 1 inch in diameter. And while the risk is extremely low, I don't think we're really going to have an overly high opportunity of seeing tornadoes, but there is always, anytime we're talking about severe weather, a tornado risk. So please make sure you are staying weather aware next several hours, especially as we get into this evening, because I think that's really when we're going to see that best opportunity for some of these showers and storms moving in, again, some of which could be on the strong to severe side. Right now, temperatures have been really efficiently warming up thanks to all this afternoon sun. A lot of us are sitting into the upper 80s, and we're just now getting a couple of these showers trying to work east there of Toledo, and that will eventually kind of give us this head start on what we're going to be watching for as we kind of go through the rest of this evening. You can even see a little bit of those severe storms starting to get going across eastern Indiana. So we do have a little bit of time. It may only be a couple hours, but I do think as we get closer to, say, 7 p.m. to about 9 p.m. for areas west of 71, that's when the greatest storm risk starts to develop. That will move eastward here as we get closer and closer to midnight. And I think once you get to about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, your severe threat starts to go down, especially across our southeastern counties. And instead, you're going to be left with some much cooler temperatures settling in for your Wednesday.
Now to your top 4 at 4. An Akron teacher sentenced to 8 years in prison for sex crimes against a former student. Chad Kendall pleaded guilty to 6 counts of sexual battery last month. Police arrested him last year. The victim was a student at Hoban High School in Akron at the time.
New information about the people killed in the plane that crashed into an Akron home last Thursday. The Summit County Medical Examiner says they will have to do DNA testing to identify the 2 people on the plane who were killed. Dental records could not be located. We're told the results of those DNA tests could take some time. Meantime, the NTSB and the FAA are investigating what caused that crash.
The man who carjacked a woman at gunpoint and then led Elyria police on a chase pleaded guilty today. Desmond Lewis will be sentenced on June 29th. Back in February, police caught him as the car he was in had an issue, just rolled to a stop on Route 20. After about 30 minutes of negotiation, Lewis surrendered, got out of the car. There were no injuries reported during either the carjacking or the pursuit.
A fast-moving wildfire just outside Los Angeles is forcing 13,000 people to evacuate their homes. The Sandy fire broke out in Simi Valley, and Santa Ana winds are not helping firefighters. Police believe the fire started when a tractor hit a rock, sparking those flames. 50 miles west in the Channel Islands National Park, there's a separate, even larger fire reportedly sparked by a signal flare from a shipwrecked sailor.
All right, now our producer Jim tells us that this is a riveting story that we're going to hear next.
Yes, I heard him say that
It's the
earlier
producer
today.
who said that, not me.
Yeah, some extra green in your bag of lettuce. A group of roommates in Australia found this frog. Yeah, you see him right there inside a bag of salad. What appears to be a green tree frog wrapped inside it, the sealed tight plastic bag, too. It was bought at Woolworths, the country's largest grocery store. The roommates took it in stride, naming the frog Greg, not Kermit, apparently, Greg. And then they released him outside into a nearby dam.
All credit to our flatmate. Say it's their lettuce, and they came home and he's just in the kitchen cooking up, and then he's like, "Bro, there's a frog in my lettuce."
Lucky the bag had a few holes in it, and he had plenty of pastures to graze on. So yeah, no, he's enjoying it.
It looked like he was enjoying it. Woolworth says this is an isolated incident. No other frogs have been found.
Thankfully.
In sealed bags. I bet if you eat lettuce or you have a salad, you're going to double check it just because of this story, right? After you see it. Breaking at this hour, an investigation into a possible explosive device found near a polling place in eastern Pennsylvania. It actually disrupted voting today. Several streets were closed as officials responded to what they were calling an ongoing incident. Voters heading to the impacted polling location at a church were directed to use an alternate entrance. So far, no injuries have been reported.
Also breaking, NFL owners unanimously approved Nashville as the host city for the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 64 in 2030. The game will take place at the Titans' new enclosed Nissan Stadium, which is set to open next year. It will be the first time Nashville, of course, has hosted a Super Bowl. League officials pointed to the city's successful hosting of the 2019 NFL Draft. You know who else hosted the NFL Draft?
I do.
Yeah, Cleveland. And other premier events. Hopefully we're in line for one of these babies. That drew hundreds of thousands of fans there.
Big changes today at Hopkins Airport. The new Central Security Checkpoint is officially open for business, and this isn't just for people flying business class. Stephen Hernandez joins us live now to show us. Stephen.
Well, we all know that frustrating feeling of waiting in line while your plane's about to board. So the Cleveland Hopkins Airport understands that. Now check it out. Instead of 2 lanes into Central Checkpoint, there's now 4. And they're hoping that this will be able to double the amount of people they see here every day. Well, a TSA spokesperson told me this checkpoint originally had a max capacity of 500 people an hour. Now it's been raised to around 1,000 an hour. Also, the bathroom that was originally near this checkpoint was moved up and away from the area to make room for more people. Now, the plan was 3 years in the making and needed over $4 million in funding to make it happen. Those dollars came from the airport's airline partners. But what do travelers think of the new change? Take a listen.
And I feel like it's going to really make people's trips a lot more effective, less stressful. Just get through it, and it's pretty open right now during this time of day, but it seems like it's just going to be a win for everybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's so much that's on your mind when you're traveling anyway, so if it can be a smooth process, why not?
And it looks like people are making the most of it right now. A spokesperson for Hopkins told me that this is part of a bigger effort to modernize the airport, and they have other projects along the way. But what do some travelers want to see in the future? You can join us at 6 to find out. Live in Cleveland Hopkins Airport, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
A 19-year-old is in critical condition after a shooting at a smoke shop on Cooley Avenue in the Jefferson neighborhood. He was rushed to the hospital. This is what the scene looked like just before 11 last night, a block away from Jefferson Park near West 130th Street. You can see they have a crime scene tape around the entrance of that shop. Police have not yet said if they've made any arrests. We do know they did recover 3 guns.
Guilty plea today from this man. Donnie Allen admitted to shooting and killing Benjamin McComas last December at the Puritas and West 50th Rapid Station. Allen will be sentenced next Thursday on several charges, including involuntary manslaughter. City of Cleveland has invested more than $1 million, they say, to make the roads safer for you and your family. According to some, it seems to be working. Vic Gideon visited a neighborhood to get a first-hand look at the new safety measures.
Getting drivers to slow down on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard near East 116th Street was a top priority. So the city installed these speed tables at the beginning of the school year right in front of the intergenerational school. Many parents happy to see them.
I believe it's better. It feels a lot safer when the kids come in the morning.
They just flying, so that helps a lot.
Repairing, constructing, and installing various speed tables citywide for traffic calming.
Cleveland City Council taking action Monday night, approving funds for as many as 100 more speed tables. They cost $7,000 to $8,000 apiece, but the total investment worth every penny, according to parents and the principal.
You know, people don't want to mess their cars up when they're speeding over the speed bump, so obviously they'll slow down. Cars were coming back and forth and not really paying attention, and this kind of slows everybody down a little bit, make sure that they pay attention to the kids.
The $1.1 million the city will spend on the traffic calming measures, money well spent, according to those familiar with the speed tables.
I would say, especially near the schools, I think this is a good investment. Again, just making sure that everybody stays conscious around the school area so that we can keep the kids safe.
So Cleveland, I think, is doing a good job.
Some of the funding coming from ARPA money, all of the money going for peace of mind.
And it makes me feel better as the adult in the building to know that, like, it's a little bit better outside, a little bit calmer than it used to be.
Vic Gideon, 19 News.